Welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Tuesday, July 28th, 2020, and we're coming back at you with another episode. Thank you for the response. I didn't get to say this yesterday on the interview call-outs last week. So much activity in the Hard-O Hive across the political spectrum. We're still looking for some bigger name Ds to fill out the interview roster on the road to November 3rd. So if you've got any information on that, hit us up. Also, El Prez released the behind-the-scenes video of the interview he did with Trump, so be sure to check that out on his social media. Shout out again to Big Cat for coming on to discuss the interview and politics at Barstool yesterday. And I can say that I'm proud to work for a company that's like this, that allows everybody to have a voice. And at the same time, Prez and Eric are getting West Wing meetings. It's an incredible time to be alive and with Barstool Sports. So,
yeah, ditto.
Yeah. Just wanted to follow up on that. Beeve, the hair's looking nice. I see you're prepping it.
Yeah, I'm getting it prepared for the show. You know what I wanted to ask Big Cat yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to, was about his body. Because I don't know if you guys noticed.
He's slimmed
this,
out. Yeah, he's looking
but
good.
Big Cat, well, he has the ability to just shift. He has a 40-pound shift that he can do seemingly overnight. I don't know if it's intermittent fasting, but I'm very interested and envious as a man with a, let's call it loose body.
Maybe he's got one of those Terrell Owens, like cryo chambers, but for like, yeah.
That would be nice to have.
I just want to know, because it seems like he goes away on a Friday fat and comes back on a Monday real lean.
You know, they Pardon My Take tried to make 2019 the year of the core, but then 2020, the lockdown happened and both of them lost like 20 plus pounds. So,
well, I went over to PFT's house. I saw him in person. He is like a twig. He's like a child.
He does that Buns of Anarchy shit where he does, like, you know, God knows how many miles a week on the Peloton, like probably like 200 miles a week on the Peloton.
It's a sad little corner of his Manhattan apartment. I can't even work out in a 2,200 square foot house. I can't even, like, and I got the bench press, but somehow he's keeping it alive. It must be tough for people in apartments, man. If you're just in an apartment all day.
I'm getting a little taste of that now that I moved the
pump
home gym down to the windowsill area. So I'm living a little bit of that life too.
That sounds terrible. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Home gym in the windowsill. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Now I'm in the hot windowsill. And then
you're like a bird.
Yeah, I'm like stuck in between the dining room table and the windowsill.
Like
so I'm getting a little bit of that apartment taste, you know.
Are you going to have animosity towards your daughter as soon as she comes out? Because you're like,
no.
Look at this body. You did this.
Why?
I'm happily
because she's taking his home gym. I mean, let's be realistic here.
Well, but her room's shaping up nice, so it's gonna be.
You haven't even met her yet, though. She could, she's probably gonna be cool. But what if she comes out and she's like, "Yeah, sorry, Dad, it's my home gym now."
I think it's just part of the deal.
I don't think she's gonna do that. I think she's just gonna. I think she's gonna shit a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Also, front to back is what I hear on that. Big Cat was saying,
wait a minute,
Mark, you said no, let's not go back there. Mark, you said that that Big Cat got a little taste of what we deal with the political, with the hate commentary coming at him ever since the rant. And then today with our show having him copied on everything, we got a little taste of the volume of it. And so like how we kind of talked about how we're not at the top setting like the entire narrative for the company like him or Dave. And I could say seeing the volume of feedback you get, that would be intense to be having to do that.
Yeah, it's a good thing he doesn't do politics because you can't please people that often. And with the volume and the level he's at, if he was doing politics, he'd have to turn those notifications off permanently.
Yeah, for real. So today's show, we got basically just 3 gigantic stories. We've been, all kinds of shit popping up, so we haven't been able to cover the big boys recently. So Pat's going to lead us off with the economy and the stimulus package. Mark's going to give us a COVID update, and I'll close us out with the election countdown to November in the elections. Pat, get us going.
All right, guys, as the least qualified person on the show to do so, I demanded that I update you guys. I'd be the one to update you guys on the economy today, so let's get into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a short straw situation.
This was a good idea.
I don't know anything about money other than it brings me what I want.
What about we didn't get any feedback. Did you guys like the lightning round passing?
I did.
Yeah, I liked it too. I don't
I
know
even
how it
put
played,
a
but
lightning strikes as the outro song. I mean, it was just nothing but
Yeah.
lightning.
all right, cool. Well, unfortunately today we don't have that, but let us know if you want us to bring back that style of lightning round. Yeah, but keep going, Pat.
On Monday, Senate Republicans, guys, today are set to reveal the CARES Act 2,
Whoa,
the sequel.
today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday, I meant.
Tuesday.
You know what I meant? Yesterday.
They don't care.
Yesterday.
I don't know what day it
Monday.
is.
Yeah.
There's a
They all
sequel
blur together, you know.
Yeah.
to the CARES Act coming. Their name for the next rescue package. And they're going to began debating it yesterday with the Democrat-led House of Representatives. They're going back and forth. I think they missed the boat here, guys, big time with the name in this thing when they could have called it CARES Again, or at least add a secondary title to CARES Act 2, Still Caring. And there's none of that. It's just CARES Act 2.
That's good. Like Sister Act 2, back in the
Back in
CARES.
the habit.
Yeah.
Yep. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the CARES.
Yeah, they
Secret
should have
of
done.
CARES.
Yeah. Secret.
They screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, the act's going to be a $1 trillion relief bill. Now, you guys might be saying, wait a minute, I thought there was already a second stimulus bill. And there was. It was called the HEROES Act. And it passed back in May, passed the House, but got rejected in the Senate by the GOP, which is a big deal, guys. And here's why. Because the initial $600 unemployment benefit that was put forward in the original CARES Act runs out on Friday. And people are upset. They're pissed off that it took the GOP such a long time to propose a new bill after rejecting the HEROES Act. But it appears the delay in part came from President Trump, who kept insisting on a payroll tax cut. But both Democrats and Republicans were like, what? Why?
I think there's still 22 million at least unemployed that were that are affected by the
It's a lot.
600 going down. 600 week. Yeah.
And it's not only that expires at the end of the
More
week,
than
right?
that,
Maybe also additional protections like rent and things like that.
Correct. Eviction.
Right. And the HEROES Act is a little bit more lenient in some of those other areas. But guys, if you're pissed off, ask yourself, why the hell did it take our government 2 months after they said no to the HEROES Act to bring the CARES Act to the table? CARES Act 2, excuse me. Now,
They were probably trying to get away with not doing a second stimulus, is my guess.
I mean, it was going to happen no matter what. The HEROES Act, which was the second proposed, was $3 trillion. This is a $1 trillion. There's some other
one
things.
One thing they weren't doing is sweating paying their next month's rent or mortgage.
Nobody in Congress
None of
was
them.
doing that.
None of them were worried about the bills at all. Their bills, personal bills. Yeah.
No, their bills or this bill, really. No bills
Right.
whatsoever.
Yeah, they weren't caring about bills at all during that time period. Is the
They're
answer?
just getting tans by their saltwater pools. Guys, the new bill will seek to cut emergency unemployment benefits from $600 a week to $200 a week, arguing that it's a disincentive to return to work because it exceeds what some workers can earn in regular wages.
Yeah, I mean, 600 a week is a lot. 200 is not much.
It's a 600 bonus. That's the idea. So it's the unemployment benefit plus. So
That's a lot. That is a lot.
You guys see the Ted Cruz?
It's like more than we make if you're going to bonus it up. Like, that's a lot of money. I can understand that 600 on top of a normal unemployment is decent. Like, you wouldn't want to. Why would you want to go back to work if you're making?
It's a disincentive.
67.
Some might say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, I agree with that. That's a lot.
Well, did you guys see the Ted Cruz thing with Margaret Brennan? He did an interview with Margaret Brennan where Ted Cruz made the claim that 68% of folks receiving unemployment are making more than they made in their regular job, and that bus boys and girls in Texas won't come back to work at restaurants because the federal government is paying them, quote, in some instances, twice as much money to stay home. Now, to give you guys some context, the max benefit in Texas is $520, $21 a week. So if you add 600 to that, it's about $1,100 a week.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess they're saying that waiters make $550 a week. I don't know. I guess that's it. But
waiters, bus boys certainly aren't making,
not 1,100,
54 grand a year.
Right. No chance. No chance whatsoever. They also have to work every week that they want to get paid. A big other thing. I think that's the big thing that a lot of people are ignoring here. There is probably a disincentivizing issue, but also at the same point, people don't want to work because it's dangerous. So we're
but it's already protected through the end of the year, right? Unemployment in general, you can remain on it.
Yes, but the benefit, the extra 600 expires this week.
Yeah.
And,
okay. So you don't get an unemployment bonus.
No, you don't.
It's going to be 200 once this is passed.
Exactly. Yeah. And even though this is only temporary, it could be temporary. Republicans reported they want states to build a whole new unemployment infrastructure where laid off Americans would be paid 70% of their lost income, which would amount to about $200 a week after the math is all done. Wait, we have some breaking good news here, guys. Stand by. This just in. Melania Trump will be revamping the White House Rose Garden.
Wow.
In a renovation. Okay. Nice.
Historic move from the First Lady there.
Back to our crippled economy. What are you doing with this shit? I don't understand. Like when I know it's a thing, like first ladies like to renovate shit, but like not right now. Just leave the Rose Garden as is right now. We can get by.
It's tough knocking on, first ladies. That's not really nice. But I was talking to my wife about this, and I was like, what has Melania done? She was doing like the anti-bullying campaign, and as we just mentioned at the top of the show, like cyberbullying, cyberbullying is at an all-time high. It's like never been worse.
So yeah, just double down on that, maybe.
So what has she accomplished? Is like, I don't know. I take it back. I don't want to knock on her, but it seems like if that was her big thing, she failed miserably at it.
My big thing is don't renovate things when people are starving. That's my big thing.
And my wife said leave her alone. So I guess
she should. You know what she should go after she should just expand Be Best to also going after people who show their dicks on Zoom meetings, who Zoom bomb.
Yeah,
maybe get those problem. Will
maybe like get some real harsh problems, like real harsh punishments for the dick showers out there.
Because like you're saying, cyberbullying has sort of like innovated during lockdown.
Oh, dick cyberbullying
it's the worst it's ever been. Yeah.
It's like chat roulette out there. You log into Zoom and it's like you're in chat roulette.
If she'd called it Be Worst, she'd be very successful with this. If it was
That's true.
Just change it up a bit. Be worst.
So guys, let's get into what this means for you, the struggling American. Well, it could mean a second stimulus check, most likely will. 12 hundies coming at you. And if this thing passes, it would mean Americans who earn less than $75K, including $500 per dependent, could get the check. But when do you get this, sweet muns, right? Well, based on the timeline of CARES Act 1, if the bill is negotiated for, like, let's say 7 to 8 days over the course of this week and the next one, then it takes like 3 days for the president to sign it. The soonest you might see checks is the week of August 24th, if you're lucky. So that's something.
I'll take the money whenever it comes.
Now, Beav, I have an important question for you here, and I didn't see this in any of the research I did. Do you know is it based off your 2018 or 2019 tax returns, or a combination of either, the most recent one you filed?
I do not know, Mark, but I will.
Because some of us have filed extensions, right, and haven't filed their 2019 returns.
Oh, I've paid my taxes. Give me the check. I think debt's
and some
fake
people's
at this
salaries
point.
changed.
I don't care if the national debt's ballooning to a point that's heretofore unimaginable. It's just got to be not real at this point, because it seems
that's
like it
true.
isn't. So just give me the money.
But to that point,
please,
we've got to get on the same page. The country has to come together and get on the same page about what the method is going to be to maintain the virus. It's been weird. There's been like no masks, yes masks. Now Trump is rocking a mask.
Well, it is but he's still leaving it to the states, right?
Stick to the economy. I got the non-economy COVID.
Okay, excuse me. I think
stick
it's
to the economy, pal.
To come together. I want to come together. It affects the economy.
Right.
Guys, Elon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Elon put in his 2 cents, and Bernie was not happy because Elon tweeted, another government stimulus package is not in the best interest of the people, IMO. In my opinion.
Yeah,
fuck you, Elon.
Elon's like, hey, check out this national debt that's about to explode and cause a second recession. But
I don't want to hear that from a fucking billionaire. I don't want to hear that.
I mean,
from
not the guy,
billionaire.
right?
Yeah.
The hero of the people, Bernie Sanders, came in and said, what a hypocrite. Elon Musk has received billions in corporate welfare from U.S. taxpayers.
Oh, yeah.
And then he said now he wants to stop 30 million Americans who lost their jobs from receiving $600 a week in unemployment benefits.
Yeah.
Well, his wealth has gone up $46.7 billion over the past 4 months. Pathetic.
I don't want you in Austin, you piece of shit.
They both have a point there. Classic little debate, economic debate.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. We got to come together with the stimulus thing. But yeah, that's that.
Elon also on a heater of Be Worst. He's cyberbullying everyone recently. What his deal
Twitter.
Is. He's got Grimes. He's got Grimes begging him to delete things. I don't know what his deal is. Hey guys, I hope everyone gets those checks soon because this dick crust of a virus does not seem to be going anywhere. And I'm going to tell you a few of the updates related to non-economy COVID stuff right now. So, for example, half of the Miami Marlins organization has COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14 players. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was
last
like
count
11 to 14 players and 2 coaches. So, I mean, it's like half the team.
Well, yeah, I think it's 26-man roster this year. So it's
and how many
it's over
coaches do
half the
they have? Like how many managers do they have total? Like 4 or 5. Like
team. Yeah,
first
I don't know.
base coach,
Probably more
third
than
base
that,
coach,
but yeah.
pitching coach. Yeah, I mean, like a third of the organization of the team has COVID at least.
Man, so they're just off for like 2 weeks then.
They're not going to be able to play for a while. And Major League Baseball postponed 2 games like for the schedule for all teams because they're like, we're reeling. We need to test everyone again.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
they pulled the plug on whole 2 days of games or two full slates of games.
I'm pretty sure. If I got that
Gotta
wrong,
be
can someone fact check that for me?
I will
think they
fact check that. But
postponed-
you got to be stoked if you're in the minor leagues Marlins organization right now because you think I'm
True.
getting
He might get called up.
baby.
Yeah, that's
Big
my
call up.
that might be
Yeah, they
part
should
of it.
definitely be calling
Yeah.
up. This should be this should be like a survivor season. If you can't make it through, you're fucked. You got to manage the virus and you got to manage your lineup. This is the ultimate manager's challenge.
I mean, it's a good point. Those AAA guys, they can step up and maybe earn a contract. That's
You
a
remember
really
that
good
movie
point, Pat.
Invincible, Mark? I know that
Yeah,
you do.
of course. With Marky
Can
Mark
we have
about
like
the
an
Eagles.
Invincible like story here where like we got like a garbage man who also has been keeping in shape because minor league's not going. But
Or
like,
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is the replacements.
right, or it could be like major league where they have an open tryout. How cool would that be?
There you go. So just jump in whenever when you confirm or correct my postponed for 2 games, whether it's just the Marlins or the entire league. Good news for the Marlins is that at the very top of the organization, the CEO, Derek Jeter, is probably safe as he has never shown any external signs of viruses or diseases before, and he has the official record for most home runs in the league, and I'm not talking about hitting baseballs. I'm of course referring to the absurd amount of sex he's had. He should just be one blistery sore by now, but he looks fine, so he's going to be fine.
You know that you're a baller when it's widely known that you have a communicable disease and people are still just banging you. Like that's status. That's king status.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he has several. I don't know if he has one in particular, but he also gives gift baskets out to the women he has sex with, the models he has sex.
I think it's just the Marlins as of now. But I mean, like what
for postponed?
For their team's been kicked off for 2 games, I think. But yeah.
Okay.
It's just like what are they going to do though? Baseball is now going to be confronted with this. I think it should be like, just you got to grind it out.
What are you going to do?
We need a Washington Generals type team.
Blue
like
Jays, by the way,
that can come in and sub in if a team gets knocked out.
Well,
like if
that's
half
a good
your team
point.
gets COVID.
You have if you have 3 teams, if you have a AAA team, a AA team, and a major league team, you can just sub in a team to go against any one of those 3. It's like now you're pitching
team.
Now your pitching rotation's even crazier because you got your ace of AA going against the fifth
Dude,
major league.
What if they brought back all the recently retired, like an all-time team, like an all-star team of like get like Tom
if they've ever
Glavine
played
back on the
Blue Jays?
mound.
That's a good idea. But they'd have to have played for that organization.
Nolan Ryan, I think, could still pitch. Probably.
No, he
He's a
can't.
Ranger.
I was researching good and bad first pitches, and Nolan Ryan did the Fauci like a couple years ago.
Well, he probably threw his arm out, throwing it 100 miles an hour back in the day.
You see Brian Tartable back out there. You see the big Hurt. Come on.
Yeah,
he could still probably launch some dingers.
Big Hurt's got to be tested for testosterone because he's been hucking high T pills.
It's organic.
This is not good for MLB. Veteran starting pitcher David Price, who is currently a Dodger and has a career ERA of 3.31, not too shabby, was already sitting this season out because he said that Major League Baseball is not prioritizing player safety. Let's take it to the internet to see what people have to say about this Marlins news. And we'll go to professional baseball player David Price says this on Twitter. Now we really get to see if MLB is going to put players' health first. So he's like, told you so. Remember when Manfred said players' health was paramount? Part of the reason I'm at home right now is because players' health wasn't being put first. I can see that hasn't changed. So, Price is rubbing it in a little bit there. But he's probably also looking out for his fellow players and friends. So Raider Rick says, you're at home because you have that luxury. I worked my ass off the whole time during this shit show because I had to support my family. Last thing I want to hear is from a millionaire that actually had a choice. So he's doing the Elon Musk shut the fuck up about the checks argument. And then this was not good. Raider Rick got roasted after this, guys. Michael H says, listen, Ranger Rick, your anger about his money that he earned has nothing to do with his decision to opt out. I'm working in the medical field every day with this virus, but David's correct. It's not about the health of the players. If it was, they just wouldn't be playing. And then Raider Rick goes, I agree. He opted out. I respect that. Getting on social media about it later is Bush League, though. And then Magnus Chan, also not happy with Raider Rick, says, you made this post about you. The original post was about MLB's commitment or lack thereof to player safety. Start your own thread. Don't project your anger at how your work underpays and doesn't value you on this thread. It's not a good look. And Raider Rick goes, good point. It just caught me wrong, that's all. And then Magnus Chan says, I understand that. Stay safe out there. Cheers. And Raider Rick says, same to you, sir. Raider Rick's beatdown continued. As Sean Hurley said, learn to throw a hard ball then. And then Raider Rick goes, I know, right? And then Raider Rick took this from Richard Infant. He said, wah, wah, wah. And then Raider Rick said, laughy face, laughy face, laughy face. So he just had to concede L after L after L. And I will say this, my man Raider Rick, you came out aggressively, and after you took those L's really well. So I will give you credit where credit's due, and thank you for working during the global pandemic.
But imagine how good the internet would be if everyone took Raider, like when you're wrong on the internet,
took his stance.
Owned it.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying.
He just laughed about it.
I was so impressed that I was going to give out his handle. I guess I will. It's at Ingle Rick, INGLE Rick. But when I saw he had like 3,700 followers, I was like, I don't need to fucking do that for him. But whatever.
Oh, Raider Rick's doing well. Well, you see how online he is. I mean, he's replying. He's interacting with everyone.
He's very active.
There you go. Yeah. Maybe we should follow his
more
his
active
thing
than
there.
a guy that's working during the pandemic. If you ask me, what is?
Yeah, right. He's probably like on Twitter nonstop at his job. That's
true.
Guy. He's not. Is he really working?
Maybe that is his job.
Is he logging? Is he just on Twitter?
Good point. Take that L, Raider Rick. In other COVID news, President Trump's national security advisor, Robert O'Brien, has tested positive for COVID-19. So it probably went something like this. O'Brien's got it. Gross. And Trump luckily has not had a public appearance with O'Brien since July 10th. Apparently O'Brien's been working from home the last week, and his daughter might have gotten it too. We'll see.
Well, in the White House, I think they test like every day. So it's just like you're
100% they test every day. Yeah, they test if you're
everyone
coming into contact. Like Portnoy said he got tested right before he went.
Probably like 3 times, yeah.
So
on the way in, on the way out. And what I personally take to be the most alarming news about coronavirus, Google as a company has said that all workers will be allowed to work from home until at least July 2021. So that's coming from a little company called Google.
Well,
and look,
what's Yandex doing?
Go ahead. Good. Oh, Yandex is forcing people to be in the office.
I mean, Google is really not. I mean, Amazon was the first. Jeff Bezos made these types of changes back in March. And so like you saw the really good operators, the really good executives, right. Bezos, Erica, Dave, the people at Barstool make immediate adjustments like this. And now the other companies are all in line.
And that goes to my point. I think July 2021 now is the new record holder. Like it keeps getting longer and longer, but those people you mentioned, those companies are smart. So they have some either inside information or have done their research, then they make this call. And July 2021, I mean, look, very few people understand the tech industry more than me. I was in it with large companies doing QA, BA, product owner, management track, you name it, at all stages of software development, the tech side, the business side. I've seen it all from companies as big as Google. And yeah, most of that work can be done remotely, but simply not as efficiently as being in the office. It will slow down, period. And these are profitable companies. So Google, to me, is saying we're fucked for a while. That's just my opinion on that one. We'll see. Let's go with the vaccine.
But you never know. I mean, people haven't really, what COVID lockdown has done is allowed business operators to really try to operate in this remote environment. And you haven't had a chance to perfect it yet, but it's definitely going to get better. I mean, it's not going to be as slow as it was if you were just 1 week out of the office because of an emergency. They're going to eventually be able to speed it up, hopefully.
I agree, Will. I think that's the most interesting thing right now is observing how remote working is going to be tested and be accepted in a way that it had never has before. Like Google, for example, they're the type of company that if you are near a Google campus, there's a bus route. They pick you up on a bus so that you can be on Wi-Fi as early as possible and not driving in your car. And the Google buses are silent. People are just working. It's a hardcore working culture. I think if anyone, they're going to figure out whether it works or not. And It eliminates meetings in a lot of ways too, which can be a fucking time suck.
The problem is that the work can be done not in meetings, but you need to find out if
Following
the work
up
was
on
done.
people.
It's the follow up on the work and then the implementation of the work, which is done remotely, which slows it down. That's the problem with the meetings. The face-to-face meetings are a lot more efficient that way. But anyways, we'll see. Let's get a vaccine going. Right?
Yeah.
And
I like one.
There's one silver lining. And also, everyone's going to take the vaccine. No one's going to complain. No conspiracy theories. We're going to be all right. There is one silver lining I can think of right now. You don't have to worry about your boss looking over your shoulder and giving you shit while you're on your computer or your phone gambling on the news. And that's what you can do completely legally in all 50 states if you go to www.predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20. And if you go to that promo URL and deposit at least 20, we will give you a free 20, no strings attached. Right?
That's
so
right.
Love that.
Yeah, the market I want to bring up today is the Democratic clean sweep market is what it's called. And that is, will the Democrats win the White House, the Senate, and the House in the November election?
What's that at?
It's at 56 cents. Yes, they will win the sweep.
What?
Wow.
And there are a lot of shares available for yes and no. So that seems high to me. If you think either Trump wins or the R's retain the Senate majority, or if you're crazy and think the R's flip the House, or any combo of those three things happen, then you can get
sweep market?
the Democrats clean sweep. Will the Democrats win?
I mean, throwing the president out, it's still like just looking at the House of the Senate. It's crazy to think
that to me is a crazy
46 cents
yes.
to get one out of the three. I mean, you're not going to get the House, but they might retain the Senate and they might retain the White House.
Correct. So if you're looking at, Trump versus Biden and you're thinking Trump, check this market out too. Because you can get more than a double up on no. Or if you think Democrats are taking it all, 56 cents a shares, almost a double up as well.
Well, I mean, I guess the argument there is that if they're going to take one, they're probably taking them all, I think is what people are thinking. If they're going to take,
I don't know what they're thinking, to be honest.
They might be thinking if you're going to take the Oval Office, which people are right now thinking like it's almost a yes slam dunk if you're looking at predicted lines.
The votes come in the same day. Will, it's not like you vote and then the people are like, oh.
Yeah, for sure. But I guess the thought process for some who are betting heavy on D on both are saying, well, if the White House gets taken, the Senate's definitely going too.
I think that a lot of people bet again with their hearts instead of their heads. Sometimes, look, there are a lot of markets out there. You can try to find one that is works for you. And if you go to www.predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20, create that account and deposit at least $20, you're starting with at least 40. Get the ball rolling.
Oh yeah, I just bought 100 shares of the no on that clean sweep.
There you go.
All right, let's move it on to the election countdown. Speaking of elections,
Will,
98 days to go. Two party platforms that actually have a shot at winning, Hard Factor and BNN coverage booting up from New York, Austin, Reno, D.C., Boston, Atlanta, and Alabama. Coverage all the way until the big day. It is campaign season 2020.
Oh, feels good.
Is that the smell of strippers, whiskey, and cocaine? Maybe so, because lobbyists and government relations bros and broads are out in full force, making sure the politicians know where their bread is buttered after they win in November. But no matter what black abyss the campaign money came from, they're all candidates nonetheless. And we want to talk to yours. Shoot us a DM at Hard Factor News on Twitter or Instagram, especially for bigger D candidates like we talked about. Also, a note for 2020. Many elections will be by mail-in only this year, so pay attention to the rules in your state. And number one, make sure you're registered to vote ASAP. Go to usa.gov, vote.gov, or vote.org. Many other websites where you can register to vote. And if you're in one of those mail-in states, be sure to mail your ballot in at least a week or so, maybe more, before the big day to make sure it counts. Read the rules in your state. I know in Nevada they're talking about like 14 days in advance. Send it in. I fucking hate mail myself, but pay attention to the mail this year or you'll forget to mail your ballot in. And if you're going to go to the polls, mask, hand sanitizer, smash the vote button. Same as always, be careful. You guys mailing in or you guys going physical polls this year?
I don't know, but I'm gonna definitely, use the right I have or freedom I have of voting. So I'll do one of the two.
Oh, that's
I'm mailing
comforting.
in. because
Voting's
my polling
cool.
place is at a community college where I haven't returned some books.
Oh shit.
So, and I also withdrew from some classes without.
Are they
just by
sending
not
out packets to everybody in Texas this
showing
year?
up? I don't know. But
Probably
I'm
best-
not going in.
Probably
there.
best the beef mail it in.
Yeah. Well, we don't have time to cover in depth everything that's going on in each state and in depth everything that's going on in each party today, but we will keep breaking it down as the day gets closer. Remember, November 3rd, 98 days away. And what's really being voted this November? 35 out of the 100 Senate seats are up for grabs. All 435 House of Representatives seats are up for grabs. And of course, the presidency. Can the Dems flip the Senate or the White House, and or both will be the primary questions like Mark was just talking about for Predict It.
I didn't even know you were going to cover that. That was just
That's
lucky.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. But I mean, that's the big
Synergy.
question. That's the big question. It's because great minds think alike. We already know. We're tuned in. That's the question. Can the Dems take the Senate or the White House? They're going to keep the House probably. And how united can the parties be? And will that play a big role? Because right now, it seems like maybe there could be some shakeups on either side. So let's look at the platforms. The Republicans are keeping the same platform from 2016. The Democrats did an update, but it's a controversial update. We'll get to that in a second. So here up first is the official Republican platform. These are the sections, the headings of the sections of the platform. You can read more at the party websites officially. I think Republicans is GOP.org and Democrats is like Democrats.org. You just Google it, you can find it. Anyways, these are the headings of the official party platforms. Here is the red platform first, the GOP, the Republicans. Restoring the American dream. Rebirth of constitutional government. Agriculture, energy, and the environment. I added dominate to that because I think that's what they mean.
Okay.
Government reform. I'm assuming that's slashing taxes. Great American families, education, healthcare, and criminal justice. And finally, America Resurgent, which I think that's like MAGA, America First, etc. So that's their
Sounds like-
7-part platform.
Sounds like the taglines of like a lot of classic movies.
Yeah, or like classic rock,
Yeah,
something like that. Just like it sounds like you're at like
90s.
Yeah, like you're at a 1990s picnic and like
Right.
yeah.
They went light on the liberty there. I don't see liberty at all in that platform, and I don't like that.
Oh, the American dream, I'm sure, is what includes that part.
Because I want to make
right.
sure our liberty is protected. I really want to make sure of that.
And that's a very good point, Pat. And that's a smaller platform, so that's a seven heading platform. The Dems have a
3,000 point platform.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like a 17 piece platform. Here is the blue platform. Number 1, raise incomes and restore economic stability for the middle class. Number 2, create good paying jobs. Number 3, fight for economic fairness and against inequality. Number 4, bring Americans together and remove barriers for opportunity. Number 5, protect voting rights, fix campaign finance, and restore democracy. Number 6, combat climate change, build clean energy economy, secure environmental justice. Number 7, provide quality and affordable education. Number 8, ensure health and safety of all Americans. I'm told they will literally make sure no American dies again. Number 9, principled leadership. Number 10, support the troops and vets. Number 11, confront global threats. Number 12, protect values. And number 13, number 13, world leader. So that's the Democratic platform.
Now, did they say good paying jobs, Will? Because I think it should be well paying jobs.
No, that's the exact wording from these. This is the
We should
wording.
get a check
I
on
added
that.
some stuff about like they'll never let a single American
minute.
die.
Did neither of those platforms discuss aliens or researching the bottom of the ocean?
Nope, or weed. Honestly, huge misses across
Jesus.
the board for us. honestly. So
Check the temperature, guys.
yeah, you read the room,
Yeah.
parties. Anyways, you could dial into each section. I don't want to. We can't get too into it at this. This is a top level overview of the platforms. That was the red and the blue platform. Obviously, you dive in deeper, but the headings are honestly a good indicator of what you're going to get. The blue is much broader, much wider, and focused on the areas that it is, and the red is more condensed and focused on the areas that it is. And on the D side, some breaking news is that the Democratic platform does not include Medicare for all, which 360 party delegates feel does not live up to the promise of ensuring health and safety for all Americans. And so, although the delegates have pledged to support the candidate Biden at the DNC, they are not going to support the platform. To which Jack Straw comments on the Hill. He says, "Revenge of the Bernie Bros. Good luck with that, leftists." So Jack Straw is thinking this could spell trouble for Biden. But Biden has an even larger polling lead than Hillary did in 2016, stable throughout the year, just vastly ahead of Trump in most polls. And will he be able to unseat Trump with that? Or will the incumbent make a comeback and take the win like he did as the challenger in 2016 when Hillary held a vast polling lead all 100 days leading up to the election? So we will find out. Stay tuned.
It's definitely it's an interesting one because of COVID. You know, COVID is a huge deal.
Yeah,
I want to know after that, Chris
all the
Wallace
way to the voting.
thing. So Chris Wallace is a Fox News anchor. He did the Trump interview. Tapper called him soft on Trump. I don't know if he came out in response to that, but he said that they've been trying to schedule an interview with Biden's camp every week for months, and they're not.
I don't know how recently, but they've been getting with Biden every week.
We're officially extending an invite for Biden to do an interview.
What are we going to see from him? That's just like I'm just so curious what we're going to see, if anything. Like, you know, if there is validity to his declining mental state and how they're going to play that against. When you need debates, we have to have a conversation. I mean, we've been like fucking locked up in our houses. We have to see these two candidates discuss this shit.
We do, and we just learned before we recorded this show that Notre Dame is backing out of hosting one of the debates. So it's going to be paramount that debates.
I really want to see those. Yeah, I really want to see those debates.
They need to at least make it
America
happen over
needs
Zoom. Hopefully, I mean, I don't.
But
we can't go to the polls.
A Zoom thing has so many. You know, like look, campaigns are run very. You know, sneakily, and it's probably not even a word, but like with the Zoom thing, you can kind of pretend like there's technical difficulties in your little room. And
I'm calling bullshit.
I didn't hear the question, and then like you have a different earpiece where someone's writing down a good answer for you, you know, and you're reading it. Like, no, I don't.
You're both on the fucking East Coast. Get in a fucking car.
Right. Delaware and DC.
They need to be in the same location. Yeah.
Baltimore. Baltimore outside in the midday sun, high noon.
It's a 90-minute
drive. We don't want to kill them, Will, but we want to hear some honest answers.
Yeah, make sure that they're sunscreened with umbrellas. Don't be fooled by Trump's tan. It's not real. He can still burn.
Hey, all right. Well, we'll find out. But you got to stay tuned with Hard Factor and BNN because we're going to take you all the way to the finish line together as one happy Hardo Hive. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor podcast today. As always, thank you for listening. Be sure to not only get in on the action with us at Predict It this election season, but also sign up for that free Sirius XM trial so you can listen to us, Hard Factor boys, on Barstool Radio, Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to noon, Power 85. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Hard Factor Pat, at Hard Factor Mark, and at Hard Factor Will. And most importantly, submit stories for What the Fuck Wednesday, but really most importantly, have a great fucking Tuesday.